Hey, how about that Edsel? The Pistons brought out into Detroit Motor City yesterday as the Cavaliers routed them, and it was just a terrible ending to a great 60-win season for the Pistons. The Major League Baseball teams played in it was a rivalry weekend, the first of, I believe, at least a couple. So much more to talk about here on the Chain Gang Sports Show, recorded at the Flagler Voice Podcast Studios in association with the U.S. News and Entertainment Network. Things are better with us.
We want to give a big shout out to the U.S. News and Entertainment Network for producing this show. Please like, subscribe, and share to stay up to date.
Hey, it's the Chain Gang Sports Show. Give us a like, follow, share, and subscribe. It is our Monday morning edition, and you'll see it in all of its glory. 30 minutes of action to talk about this past weekend. Tommy Thunder.
Yeah, good weekend.
Yeah.
Good weekend in sports for a lot of reasons. Although the Yankees need a closer. That's what I've determined, that Bednar is just
not the one.
Not the one. No, last year he came on strong, but he's had some struggles. You knew it from the World Baseball Classic, because every time he came in, he made it exciting because he just couldn't come in and shut the door.
Right.
So
that was an indicator.
He's doing that now, and 6-3 going into the ninth against the Mets, who are one of the worst teams in baseball, and he folded. I mean, base hit, and then a 3-run homer. So. And then they lost in extra innings, which was frustrating. But, Cleveland beating, like you said in the beginning, Cleveland beating Detroit, not beating them, taking them out to the woodshed.
Let me tell you what.
Gave them a spanking. And then, so that means the Knicks are the home court advantage, which is
that's big.
Good for Gotham.
Yeah, well, we always speculated if the Knicks had the home court advantage, we didn't even know that they'd go this far, but the home court advantage
is huge, especially from in New York.
At this point.
Yeah.
But
Cleveland's, hey, listen, man.
Yeah.
That Cleveland team showed you how deep they are. I mean, Mobley, they've got
Sam Merrill came off the bench.
Sam Merrill
23 points.
Yeah, and Roos, they've got some guys that can shoot the rock. I mean, they've got that they're tough. They're tough. Allen underneath.
Oh, yeah.
Where Jared Allen, he had offensive rebounds going. I mean, they're scary. And then the Beard, and Donovan Mitchell, those two guys, the Beard still can play.
That's it. Mitchell with 26 points, 23 from Jared Allen. Evan Mobley, you mentioned him, 21 points, 12 rebounds.
They get it from 7 guys.
Yeah.
They have 7 guys. At least, the only thing I can say is the Knicks are a little deeper. Them going 7 games, us having all the rest. We'll see game 1. If it's rusty or if it's well rested. You know what I mean? Those are the two things you get.
I think the Cavaliers, what were they, the 4th seed, and the Knicks the 3rd.
Uh-huh.
It's a great matchup.
It is a good matchup
because you've eliminated, all the great expectations here of the Celtics, and the Pistons, who had a great year.
Yeah, they did.
What is it? Only the 3rd team, I believe, that had 60 wins to get eliminated in such a fashion. And they were 5-0 going into that in Game 7s.
Yeah, Cade Cunningham. I mean, what was he? 0 for 9 from 3-point?
0 for 9, I believe so.
0 for 9 from 3-point range.
Absolutely his worst.
And here's the crazy thing: Cleveland gets I guess Detroit gives up more free throws per game than any team in the NBA this year. And at one point, Cleveland had 47 free throws, but only made 24 of them.
Wow!
Yeah. So that's a bad number, and when you have turnovers, offensive rebound, the mathematics on that don't add up well.
No, absolutely not. The Cavaliers overall shot 51% from the field. Pistons 35%. Cavaliers had 58 points in the paint. 34 for the Pistons.
Yeah, Jared Allen 23. That's a big number for him.
You think you're going to see the same thing, though, out of the Cavaliers against the Knicks?
Well, here's the thing. The great thing is the Knicks have 2 7-footers. They got, Mitchell Robinson and Big Cat. They make it difficult. And the Knicks are a good defensive team. Okanobi.
Yeah,
OG Anunoby. That's
OG Anunoby. Yeah. Well, hey, pretty soon we'll be calling him Okeechobee here pretty soon.
Exactly.
But I got to say, though, the Knicks have come, they are deserving of where they are.
Oh, they got hot at the right time. They definitely got hot at the right time.
They destroyed the Sixers.
Yeah. And like I said last time on Thursday's show, Mike Brown making those changes as a head coach to realize, okay, it's working, but it's not perfect. So let's bring this in. And it was amazing. I mean, the point center that they have Big Cat doing has been huge.
Coach of the Year candidate?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, yeah. Why not? But I think there's some other guys. I mean, when you go a full season without Tatum, and Boston makes it that far, I mean, Boston. There's some good guys out there, and I think tonight's game, San Antonio and OKC, I think that's going to be a heck of a series.
That's going to be like a final right there.
Yeah.
San Antonio, Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
But it may just remember this past Thursday we were talking about the Cup.
Yeah.
And how the Knicks won that.
Yeah, and they weren't. They were.
Antonio.
I think they were 5-point underdogs going into that against San Antonio at the time. And San Antonio is legit. I mean, there's no question. I mean, they're where they are. OKC hasn't lost yet, so we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be great. I think NBA basketball is big. It's good.
That was back in December, that Cup, but hey, that would be a great story if you end up winning both in 1 year. We'll have to see what develops. And like you say, the West Finals tonight, 8:30 is the opening tip. Spurs at the Thunder. The East Finals tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. That's the Cavaliers and the Knicks. And I believe the action can be found on ESPN. So NBA season is wrapping up now. It's getting into the thick of things where when you're not even a basketball fan, I think you start watching.
Sure, yeah, no, that's a sport you do. NHL, you got Game 7 tonight, Buffalo and the Canadians.
That's it.
The Habs.
Sabres hosting.
Sabres hosting, yeah. I think so. They're young without that big superstar, so I think that collectively they've played well, and home ice is going to be big. Buffalo will be buzzing, since their football team hasn't given them the final exclamation point yet either, but it'll be good.
Montreal is the last hope for a Canadian team.
I know.
To finally
it's crazy. Every time.
1993, wasn't it the Canadians back then?
Yeah, and with SGA winning the MVP. That
the
streak,
clutch player of the year too.
Yeah, that streak of no American winning the MVP in the NBA in the last 12 years, 13 years? 13.
He's the pride of Canada, right?
He is the pride of Canada.
And you know what? If you see him in an interview accepting those awards,
he's a class act.
He is a class
Total
act.
class act.
One of the better players in all of sports, in my opinion.
Mid-range jumper like nobody else. There's a couple plays that you can think of that had mid-range. That mid-range jumper is not an easy jump shot.
No.
I think the three-pointer is an easier shot than the mid-range, because there's big men involved getting their hands up. But, it's... between NBA and NHL, this is a fun time of year, and then we have the dreaded Yankees, but let's not forget, because we always leave golf out, that the PGA Championship was won yesterday.
Yeah, Rye.
With
the big Aaron Rye,
yeah.
First British Wanamaker winner.
Yeah.
Since 1919.
Right, with a serious rich tradition of British golfers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But 1916, 1919, I want to say Jim Barnes was the winner back then.
Yeah.
I mean, it's ancient history, 107 years ago.
Yeah.
When you think about it.
Yeah.
World War II. I mean, not World War II. World War
I was just going to say.
Interrupted. Yeah, I'm jumping. World War I interrupted that. It was 1917, 1918. They had a gap in there.
Yeah.
So they won the first two, the Brits did. And now and
it's
the
crazy thing is you saw Scheffler on the in the hunt, and he didn't close like Scotty Scheffler's used to closing. He didn't have that final round,
right?
Which was surprising. The course it was the course that I think was the biggest problem. You saw that rough.
Oh yeah.
Holy cow! Coming out of the rough, I mean, guys like Rory McIlroy duffing shots because it was so thick. It grabs the club. You don't get that that finish, and you come up short, chunk it.
You saw the 68-footer that Rye put in. What was it on 17?
17. That was a closer. That was a good
reading
moment. He's a
green.
good guy. I wasn't really. I got to be honest. I wasn't rooting for him. I was hoping Justin Thomas's score would hold up. I mean, he shot a 65 for 2 hours and 45 minutes. He was in the clubhouse. He was in first. Tied for first or second for a good part of that final round.
Well, you're usually pulling for anyone That's the Longhorns, right? Jordan Spieth,
Speed.
like Longhorn Paulie.
Longhorn Paulie.
Who's a frequent caller here.
And he's a
on
golfer.
Thursday nights. By the way, on Thursday nights, we go live 6:30 to 7:30, and you can always give us a call, 386-251-8100. And, of course, send us an email as well. You know, the Morning Crunch. Today we've got Karaoke Courtney is on special assignment. We look forward to her return on Thursday night, the Chain Gang Sports Show. We appreciate your likes, follows, share, and subscribe. And I tell you what, always a whole lot of sports to talk about on Monday, and we only have 30 minutes to talk about it. But it's like speed dating in sports style.
Right.
You know? So we just got to knock it out real quick.
Rip through it. And then we go, and hopefully we don't get sidetracked, which is not easy for us, especially. And then the producer makes his debut with a little.
Unlike on Thursdays, we don't have any food, though. That's the thing. That's the missing ingredient.
Do you know? Yesterday, here's a funny. Yesterday, I'm driving and I'm like, I was like trying to figure out what to do for dinner, and I went to Rustic Dough to go grab some meatballs, and I got sidetracked, but. Tonight, they close on Tuesdays, so I'm going tonight to pick up some meatballs. Those meatballs were so unbelievable.
They were.
And Lord knows, those cheesecakes didn't help the old waistline. It was the gym. I was right in the gym.
What happened to those 3 massive chunks of cake? You took care of it all?
I took
2 out of 3?
Then
you were like the Mets over the Yankees?
I had them, easy now. I had them on the counter for all neighbors and a fork. Anybody all roommates wanted to get involved.
That chocolate cake.
Let me tell you something. Those Rustic Dough gets it right. That's all I can say is they get it right.
That's the first time he's been speechless.
Yeah, ever. That chocolate flourless cake it just melted in your mouth. And then they had the peanut butter cheesecake, and then the regular cheesecake, that graham cracker crust.
Oh,
cracker crust. Literally have
is the best
drool coming out of my mouth. That's scary.
That's probably when it comes to crust, most people don't go for the crust, on a pie or even on a pizza. But graham cracker crust is...
Oreo cookie crust. Listen, there were 4 cakes in there that would have, like Alan said, would have put him in a coma.
All right, so talking about that food, I'm going to hear some stomach scrambling here on set. Hey, by the way, the Mets lose Clay Holmes for an indefinite amount of time now.
And then Fried also for the Yankees. He hit the 15-day disabled list, but Garrett Cole hitting 99 multiple times in his in one of his rehab starts. So he's going to have one more rehab start, and he'll be back in the rotation, which will be good because the Yankee bullpen has failed them. Bird, they went out and spent a lot of money on Bird and Bednar, and Bird has been a complete disappointment. But I try not to do this on the show, is that armchair quarterback or that second guess coaching.
Right.
But Aaron Boone just doesn't get it right. He continually brings in Bird. He continually brings in Bednar. And they just they get beat up every time they're in. They come in, they give up 2 hits, a walk. They don't get anybody out. And it's like, you have to go into the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning with a 4-run lead. Otherwise, they're doomed.
We're only a third of the way into the season.
Yeah, but, here's the thing. Schlittler, I put the L in. You saw I put the L in?
I think he's the secret weapon.
He was the player of the week this week.
And he should be.
2 wins, giving up 1 run. He pitched 7 innings against Milwaukee of scoreless baseball and didn't get a decision. He's 6-1. He's second in the league in strikeouts. He's second in the league in wins. And the dude is just getting it done. So if you figure you have Cole and Rodon coming back, Rodon's back, Cole and Schlittler and Will Warren has been amazing. You can now take some of these guys like Torres and put them into the bullpen and extend that bullpen will get deeper and better. So, it's a big deal, these 2 guys coming back.
It's early, but Tampa Bay is certainly making their mark. They've won 18 out of their last 22. They beat the Marlins 2 out of 3. Again, rivalry weekend in the major leagues, which is always interesting to see. The Marlins sinking now to within a game and a half of being in the cellar of the National League Eastern Division, as the Mets are, they're winning here and there. But When you look at the major leagues right now, it is still kind of odd what's happening. Absolutely, the worst division is the American League West, where the A's at 500, the only winning record team.
Isn't that amazing?
In
The
that
A's
division.
with the lowest payroll in baseball. But again, when a division is terrible, I just I always wonder, like California having Trout and Ohtani at the same time at one point. They didn't try to just go out and win a World Series. Spend a little money, get some pitching, and they could have really made a run. But Ohtani's gone. Trout can't stay healthy. And so Anaheim, I should say, they just continue to have their struggles every year. And Seattle has been a disappointment.
Seattle,
so forth.
And Cal Raleigh has been injured. He's on the injured list now.
Yeah.
So who knows? Some team will emerge there.
Yeah,
I
eventually.
can't imagine the A's are going to.
I think Seattle will make that run.
On the flip side, National League Central Division, every team still with a winning record. That's the toughest division.
Milwaukee took care of the Yankees, took care of them in sweeping fashion. The Dodgers have been taking it on the chin a lot lately.
Although on I believe a 6-game winning streak right now, 5 or 6 game winning streak. So right now, currently the hottest team. But you're right.
Before the win streak, they had lost, which. With that payroll, that lineup, that pitching staff, I didn't expect them ever to have more than a 3-game losing streak, but it happens to the best.
You know what? Anybody that plays the Dodgers, they're after them. They you know what? It's like they got a target on their back. Yeah. You
Yankees
beat the Dodgers, it validates.
Yeah, and it's just like the Dodgers have become what the Yankees always have been. The Yankees have always been the team when they come in. First of all, they draw a great crowd for opposing.
People show up. For that game
in their visiting
and
ballpark.
not just one game, all three in a 3-game series.
Yeah. And when I lived in Chicago, when the Yankees came to play the White Sox, I went to every game. And there was so many Yankee fans there, and the stadium was probably the best attendance they had all year.
You mentioned Chicago. The White Sox took 2 or 3 against the Cubs. So the South Side representing. The White Sox, though, for a while, they were the armpit of at least the American League, and certainly a couple of years ago, it was the worst team in baseball. And then the Rockies surpassed them in futility. Who knows how it'll end up? I don't think the White Sox are going to be in the 100-loss category this year.
And that Japanese player is really hitting the ball. He's got
in the home runs.
Yeah. How about the Marlins having 2 guys in the top of the league in hitting?
Marlins are you know what? It's pitching that holds them back.
Yeah.
They just don't have an ace. Nothing close to it.
And they don't have the organization. They don't build well like Tampa Bay is just what
Tampa Bay. They hold on to players
and young.
Yeah.
They it's always somebody new and young coming through their farm system. They do a good job.
Best team currently in the American League, Tampa Bay. Who would have thought? You look at that situation. Oh, by the way, Ben Rice, 15 home runs now on the season.
I know.
He did knock one out yesterday.
Judge won't let him pass him, though. Judge has 16.
Yeah. Judge,
how about Schwarber? Schwarber's gone on a tear. He's got 20 homers. He's gone on a tear.
Absolutely. And by the way, the Phillies sweeping the Pirates.
Mm-hmm. And Skeens got lit up yesterday.
Yeah, 6-0 the final there. Zach Wheeler the winner. And the Phillies now, 24-23, first time over 500 since April 7th. And what was it? Now Don Mattingly, I believe, since he took over 14-4.
Yeah, here's the craziest thing. We were talking about Thursday. Remember that Dennis called in and he was asking about Mattingly.
Right.
So I had a conversation with somebody. I was Longhorn Poorly and I were talking, and we're talking about Mattingly as a manager, and I just Googled it because Robbie Thompson, getting fired. What I thought he was fired, and I thought Mattingly took over. But when you Googled it, it says owner. I said manager of Philadelphia Phillies. It still says Robbie Thompson, and then it said Don Mattingly coaching where, and it was like they still had him as the newly acquired bench coach for the Phillies, but never had him as manager. So. Has Robbie Thompson been fired? The big mystery. And is Mattingly the manager?
Yeah.
Is that what you know to be true?
That's what well, he's the interim manager.
Well, that's what I thought, but it doesn't come up in a Google. They have not. Yeah, Robbie Thompson still is the manager.
Can't always trust Google.
No, that's what that was my point. Hell with Google.
By the way,
And
on
analytics.
Saturday's win, I believe it was also a 6-0 final there for the Phillies. Dusty Wathan. Remember John Wathan, the catcher?
I do. That's his son. Yeah.
Yeah, Dusty Wathan got credit for the win. So they're 15-4 since Mattingly took over, but give that win to Wathan there as the manager.
Yeah.
And you know why? Because Don Mattingly's son, he had to attend graduation, the ceremony, Purdue University. His son graduated he's a Boilermaker.
He is a Boilermaker.
I didn't know if you knew that.
I did not
I just
know
thought
that.
I'd throw that in.
Thank you.
No charge on that one.
I'm right, glad.
So, yeah, the Rays beating the Marlins. You know, it's always interesting to see. You got the Royals and the Cardinals. When you think about it, the Dodgers and the Angels. The Angels, the worst team in baseball. I suspect they'll stay that way. You look at the rest of the major leagues. Again, we're not even a third of the way through the season. So it's tough to get too excited or too down on your team. By the way, Denny Hamlin collected $1 million yesterday as he ended up winning in what was the debut of the All-Star race at Dover Motor Speedway in Dover, Delaware. Don't know if you saw any of the action there. But I tell you what, the NASCAR season now, you're about a third of the way into that season. You got Charlotte coming up this Sunday.
Yeah, when's
the 600, the Charlotte Coca-Cola 600, longest race in NASCAR.
Yeah, I saw that.
So that'll be interesting to see. Formula One racing will return Sunday. We'll talk about that on Thursday as we preview the upcoming weekend sports. They'll have the Canadian Grand Prix. And, of course, the Inter Miami. I got to give a shout out to Inter Miami and Lionel Messi as he got a goal in their 2-0 win over the visiting Portland Timbers on Sunday. So Inter Miami positioning themselves. Can they repeat as champions? Well, being a Miamian, hey, I would like to see that. I don't know. You have a favorite in Major League Soccer?
Miami, just because
Orlando
to watch. I went to a game, and I went to the Miami game. Yeah,
and they treated you well.
They did
out there. Yeah, that's you know what, Orlando does it pretty nicely, and it's tough when I see Orlando play Miami. I got to give my allegiance to Miami, but the Orlando City Lions, they are not having the best of seasons right now. They ended up playing in a 1-1 draw on Saturday. But again, you got a long season there. They're not even halfway through their season, and they're going to take a long break. They have games on Saturday, I believe Sunday, and then it's the World Cup that takes over. So you won't see any Major League Soccer action through the month of June and the better part of July. It's going to be a long layoff.
Yeah, Mikey Terranova is trying to convince me to go up to the Meadowlands. I think, not the Meadowlands, but MetLife. I think is hosting one of the World Cup games, wants to go up there. He's a Jersey boy. And so to see a World Cup game. So might be something to put on the calendar, although just things just getting so busy and so much fun to be a part of this podcast and other podcasts that we do at the studio. The studio is starting to flourish, so it's a good thing. The Flagler voice
it is a good
starting
thing.
To step up and step out is what we do.
It's a 30-minute show on Mondays, 6:30 to 7. You end up seeing it. It's available on different formats.
Yeah,
we've got Spotify, YouTube, Facebook, Rumble, Instagram, TikTok.
We're the platform.
It's getting to be where it's just all of the above, we'll be saying. King Gang Sports Show, we appreciate your like, follow, share, and subscribe. And on Thursday, Thursday night show live. This is live, but, it's played back later.
Yeah.
It's Thursday night that's live. We've got the food, karaoke, Courtney on hand.
The call-ins, the singing. Yeah, we got everything going on. And don't forget Saturday the 23rd, for anybody that watches this show, the Saturday the 23rd and likes to eat like we do, the cheesecake, Philly cheesesteak, not cheesecake. I ate too many of them over the weekend is what the problem is. There it is.
Philly cheesesteak. That's a big event.
I have graham cracker crust in my mind. It's a big event, and then, by the way, I have a correction that has to be made. So I called them the Misfits girls softball program.
Right, you did say the Misfits.
It's the Fits.
The mitt.
Oh,
the mitt.
Mitt
the
fits,
mitt
like baseball mitt.
Yeah.
So they're the mitt fits, and the mitt fits will be we're going to have a few of the girls on the podcast at the grand opening for Philly Cheesesteak, which we're excited about. Saturday the 23rd, you come out. It's right at what's that, Alan, a BP gas station?
Yeah, it's right in the same building as the BP gas station.
On Palm Harbor.
On Palm Harbor.
Palm Harbor.
So now the Midfits, are they in like the middle of their season? Their season has started, or is it ending?
They are right now. I think they're showcasing right now, but they're in the middle of their season. I think winding down usually, which is weird, but a lot of the teams will wind down for the summer. Like remember Rich Vogel.
Rich
Yogel. He told us that the season was winding down because I am going to go umpire, and so I sent him an email. He's going to send me some information, and I'm going to go out to the clinics and then start umpiring, have some fun.
Oh man, you're going to do your best Enrico Palazzo?
No, Enrico Palazzo. I will do. What was the one that used to remember he used to do that whole wind up and
not John McSherry. John McSherry.
It might have been McSherry.
John McSherry.
But very animated. I'm going to make it fun for the kids. What the heck?
You know what? That's
you only live once.
Like, people like to see that. They do like to see something different at baseball.
I might have
games.
a hard time jumping up and, firing somebody, throwing them out as far as, you missed that? Punching out some kid on second base as he gets thrown out sliding, and then he starts crying, and you're like, oh man.
There you go.
You don't want to make it look bad. Give him that little subtle out. He's out.
A little animation in baseball. It works for the Savannah Bananas, right?
Yeah.
They're out there.
That's Savannah Bananas.
102,000 at was it Kyle Field there in Texas A&M?
Yeah.
102,000.
I know. It's crazy. The money.
Talking six
They were
figures.
talking about the money that these guys are making. That the Bananas sell out wherever they go. They sell out football stadiums. Wherever they go, they sell out.
It is.
And it's average baseball players doing crazy, goofy stuff. Like when they field the ground ball, do a flip, throw the ball. I might go out there and work on my flips.
And
because I can play baseball.
Well, you
Work
know what?
hard.
It's the only thing I'm flipping is a hamburger.
It is something different. We'll see how long they've been doing it now for a few years.
Yeah,
and now they've got a league going. They've got
now
different
there's
teams
going to be other
now.
bananas. There's a couple apricots, maybe a strawberry.
Yeah. Well, they got the clowns.
Come
The
on,
clowns
no,
are
but I'm pumped. Whoa! We got a little extra on that.
Hey, just to touch upon real quick the NFL schedule. We'll talk more about that as we approach football season. It was great anticipation on Thursday night with the release of the NFL schedules. So we'll see what we think about our teams, about your team.
Well, I know this. I know
call.
the Jets will play the Dolphins twice.
Oh, yeah. Well, we know that much.
Right.
But I tell you what, just looking at it, the Bills and the Dolphins schedules are rough. Man, that's a rough well, especially for Miami, because Miami right now is a little ill-equipped to take on any kind of a schedule right now.
Yeah.
Although I like the direction that they're heading. And how about, just to finish up, Aaron Rodgers now. He finally signed a contract, 1 year, potentially $25 million. It's at least $23 million. He's got some incentives. Maybe one of the incentives is to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Well, one of the
Doesn't
incentives
move
should
around
be,
well.
if you're ever going to come back again, that he has to make that decision after the season. Because I hate this dramatic wait period that you go through before he makes his decision. And like I told you, the last time we talked about this and Aaron Rodgers, he handcuffs a team. I'm actually doing the handcuff. He handcuffs a team from making decisions at quarterback. I mean, I don't understand why he does that, because now they can't go and make a roster move to bring somebody else in, because like the Jets, the Steelers are depleted at quarterback. They don't have nothing great. I mean, look at the Jets. I mean, I'm done talking about the Jets.
They had a good draft. We'll see what happens here.
They did,
along with
but still don't have a quarterback. So
that's it.
Whatever.
But I
Whatever.
think it's safe to say the Steelers will be drafting a quarterback next year.
Yeah, and the draft class will be a little bit better, too.
And I think that's what they're waiting for. I think this is Rodgers' last hurrah.
Yeah.
We'll see how that goes.
You know what? I like Aaron Rodgers. He's a hell of a quarterback. I just hate the dramatic...
multiple MVP
it's like
of the league.
It's the longest drum roll in history.
Who didn't want Aaron Rodgers on their fantasy football team at one point?
You know, when I won fantasy 3 years in a row, at one point I went on a 3 year.
How big was the league?
It was $1,000. It was a trophy. I actually have a big ring for winning it. But the funniest thing was, it was Brett Favre was the one who carried me on those seasons. I always ended up getting them, making the
Was he
Cardinal
with the
rule.
Packers at the time?
Yeah, making that Cardinal rule. Yeah, that's how long ago. But I did win it a couple of years ago because that's where I got the ring from. And the guy who carried me in that was, you lose your number one pick, you think your season's over, and you get some nobody that comes out of nowhere and has an amazing season. And Njigba was that guy. I mean, putting up numbers and what's the kid from Detroit? He's the wide receiver. Sure.
Oh, Ramon.
Yeah. Saint something.
Saint.
There's all three of them. All the sons are all powered
Ramon
up.
Saint elsewhere.
Yeah.
Hey, but Saint Brown. Saint Brown. Yeah.
There it is.
But I know sometimes you can draw a blank with some of the names, but we're going to talk more about the NFL on Thursday and so much more, as it's going to be a big week with the NHL and the NBA and, of course, Major League Baseball. And people will be able to give us a call. We'll have food on hand, and karaoke Courtney will look for her return.
There you go. And unfortunately, Alan will still be here, but we'll see you Thursday. We'll see everybody. There it is. That's the way to end it. We'll see everybody Thursday. Good working with you, John.
Yeah, likewise.
Things are truly better with us.